Hi everyone, my name is Danae Wheeler. I'm going to be talking to you all about the article A Dream Still Deferred from New York Times Magazine by Thomas Segru. I'm hoping I'm saying his last name right. I'm going to be talking about the article first and then we'll kind of lead into the book. And I'll make this as quick as possible because I'm pretty passionate about this subject. So Segru goes on to talk about basically the living conditions and the housing slash tax brackets and community overall in Detroit, Michigan. I think it's obvious that we all kind of know that Detroit is definitely a fallen city as far as economic wise and socially. They have a lot of high crime rates and it's a city that struggles. So he goes on to point out a few things that I wanted to read to you. I wanted to say that Segura touches on the sensitive but powerful message about urban living situations in Detroit for Black families. Most of them are struggling financially, like I said, and dealing with high crime rates. I find that this article is directly related to the food revolution because Will Allen has dealt with these kinds of situations in the communities directly. Black families are wanting to move up in society and move into suburban areas, but are halted by this very slighted hand of discrimination that still exists. Um, they're not able to receive home buyers loans, um, or they are forced to move into a suburb that is already financially run down, low tax brackets, rare job opportunities. Um, the homes themselves are run down, etc. And Segru goes on to say that rather they move into places with older houses, rundown shopping districts, and dealing with tax revenues. Such towns are also they typically have poorer services and fewer job opportunities than wealthy suburbs, where, despite the strong anti-discrimination laws, it's still harder for blacks to find housing. Um, and I feel like this is where Will Allen kind of came in with his side of the food revolution. Um, he was dealing with the urban areas of Milwaukee and seeing the crime rates that were happening to these families, and he felt a sense of almost duty to bring a healthy mindset back to the communities. And I feel like he was very successful in this. Um, One of the things that I feel like was probably the most poignant thing in the book for me was whenever he was working with the youth and they lost one of their crops that they had worked all season for. And he used this as a very strong teaching point and opportunity to teach them that we all must work hard and double the amount of hard work to see our labors come to fruition, and that these children were part of an era and are part of this generation that are the instant gratification. And I feel like he used this opportunity for teaching that in reality it's not always instant gratification. And I feel like this mentality really should work its way into every community, even here in Springfield. Um, we've lost the value of working with our hands, and we need to be better about blending our communities in the Black communities and the white communities, regardless of whether or not we want to talk about it. It is a real thing, and it's sad. I'm glad that I was raised with a family that has a love for everyone and that we don't see color. And I hope to pass that on to my son and to teach him the value of working hard with his hands. So as far as Detroit, um, I think that this definitely reflected into the Milwaukee situation. At the same time, just because of the level of the high crime rates, and it definitely mirrors each other. So, as far as Will Allen, thank you so much for writing this book. It was a pleasure and honor to read it. I learned so much just about agriculture in general. I had no idea the work that it takes. I don't think any of us really do. I can say honestly that every time I've gone to the grocery store since reading this book, I have definitely not taken it for granted that I pick up a bag of carrots for only $1 and someone has harvested these, someone has grown these. And especially when I buy fresh produce locally, I have a much deeper respect for the food that I buy. So I hope you all enjoyed this. I look forward to watching everyone else's videos and hearing about the articles that you all chose, and hope you all have a good one. Thank you so much.